guys, Miss Rubio, and back to your guided reading lesson. This week we're switching things up a little bit, okay? This week we're focusing on a different genre. I want you to take a look at the cover and make a prediction about what genre this book can possibly be. So let's take a look at the book. The book is titled The Ant in the Photograph, okay? So here we have an illustration of a boy holding what seems to be, I'm assuming, an ant, right, made of different materials. So automatically, just looking at the front of this cover, the ant in the photograph, and because it has an illustration, I can make a prediction that this is going to be a fiction book, okay? Remember, fiction is stories that could be true or not true, okay? So it could be something that personally has happened to you or something that hasn't happened to you. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I want to take a kind of like a book walk, a scroll, just try to make sure that this is fiction and to make a prediction of what you think the story is going to be about, because I'm honestly confused. I don't know what the story is going to be about. The ant in the photograph. So let's keep looking at our book. Okay, here we have another illustration in the inside cover. It's always good to look at the illustrations. Remember, illustrations are there to help you understand the text and to help you understand what emotions or what is going on in the story, okay? So in here, we haven't started reading yet, but here it seems to look like we have a boy, possibly a mom. It looks like they're maybe folding laundry. Maybe they are looking for something, and the reason why I think they're looking for something and he didn't find it is because he looks a little sad, and she looks like, oh man. So that's my prediction on this illustration. Okay, let's keep looking. Something I do want you to notice is that in this book it didn't have a table of contents. A table of contents, again, is usually found in nonfiction text. It's not always found. It's usually found in nonfiction text. Again, nonfiction are stories that will provide information. So in this one, it's not giving us a table of contents. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind because we read fiction text differently than we read nonfiction. Okay, nonfiction is informational, so we read to learn different facts about a certain topic. Okay, fiction, we read to find out what happens in the story, and usually, more than likely, finding out the moral of the story, the lesson of the story, okay? In fiction, there's usually a lesson that needs to be learned, that the author wants us to learn, like, oh, be kind, or, be trustworthy, and so there's different things that's what's different about fiction and nonfiction, okay? That nonfiction is to learn information about a certain topic. Sometimes it will have a lesson, like, oh, make sure you recycle, right? And in this one, in a fiction, I'll have like a moral of the story. Okay, like we'll keep that in mind towards the end. Okay. This week we're going to be focusing on characters, setting, and plot of a story, and kind of really digging into plot and identifying the problem, the climax, and the solution, okay? But before we do that, let's take a look at these next couple of pages. Okay, so let's take a look at the very first page. So I'm actually going to go over the pages that you are going to be assigned to read for today. You're going to be assigned to read pages 3 through 6, but I wanted to go over 3 words that I found that were kind of challenging. So I'm going to go over that right now. And so before we do that, let's kind of keep in mind to always look at the illustrations to help us make predictions, okay? Right now we are not reading at this time. I'm just looking at the pictures, the illustrations, and kind of making predictions of what this is going to be about, okay? So again, here we have an illustration on page 3, the very first page. And I notice that it says, welcome parents. And I see a child holding his mom's hand, and the reason why I think mom is because like I see mom right here. So his mom's hand, he looks pretty excited. If I were to predict his feelings, he would be pretty excited. If I were to predict where they're at, I would say they're probably in a school. If I were to predict what they're doing there, I would say maybe they're going to a talent show or a science fair or an art fair or an academic night, right? So I think that, or maybe they're meeting their teacher, first day of school. So there's other things, there's other predictions to make just based off of this illustration, okay? So let's keep looking. Ooh, here we have another illustration. It's of the little boy, and he looks to be holding what looks like an ant, a project of an ant, maybe an art project, right? So kind of figuring out what this is, I'm really curious. I want to start reading, so I want to know why, why the boy's at the school, why he's holding what it looks to be like an ant made out of different items. And so I'm really excited to start reading this because I want to know what's happening to see if my predictions are correct. Okay, well, before we do that, I want to look at this first word right here. Now the word is sculpture. Okay, so again, we have sculpt, we have sculpt, sculpt. Does everyone see the sculpture? Okay, so the way again I would chunk this is let me get my pen really quick. I would get this right here. Ooh. Sculpture. Okay, this is a bolded word. Okay, so what we could do with the bolded words, we could go look in the glossary. Okay, so let's go look in the glossary because this is a bolded word. The glossary is always going to be found at the end of a book. Okay, and the purpose of a glossary is to give us the definitions. Is to give us the meaning of a word. Okay, and as you can see, this glossary is in alphabetical order. So it starts with A and it goes all the way down to S. Okay, so here we have the word sculpture. Next to it, we have what part of speech it is. So this is a noun. Okay, so a noun is a person, place, or thing. Okay, so now we know that sculpture is a person, place, or thing. Okay, so now let's figure out what it is. A three-dimensional work of art made of flexible or hard material. Okay, I'm going to read it again. Sculpture. A three-dimensional work of art made of flexible or hard materials. And in this glossary, it's even giving you the page number of where you can find that actual word. Okay, so it's a three-dimensional work of art. So let's go see, does that make sense? Can that be a three-dimensional work of art? Is that what we saw in the picture? Right here, a three-dimensional work of art. It says, here it is. Darren proudly pointed to his sculpture of a brightly painted giant ant. Okay, so again, that makes complete sense. A three-dimensional piece of art. Okay, another word I want to look at is on the next page. Again, if you come across the words that are bolded and you don't know what they are, you're more than welcome to go look in the glossary, okay? Okay, let's look here. The word I want to look at is admire. Okay, before we look at admire, I want to look at the illustration first because this looks a little crazy. I want to know what's going to happen so bad. It looks like he might be falling. Him and his aunt might be falling in a book, maybe? And so that's my prediction there. I'm really curious of what happened. But I want to go back to this word, admire. Okay, this is also a bolded word. So I'm going to go look in the glossary. If, for whatever reason, there is a word that is not bolded, you can use your context clues to help you. Look at this sentence before it, sentence after it, or use the words within the sentence to help you figure out what that word is. Okay, so admire. So you have admire. Admired. I keep saying admire. Admired. Admired. So let's go look at what admire means. Let me click through these billion pages. Okay. Oh. Admire. Okay. The part of speech that is it's a V, so it's a verb. Okay, that means you can actually do it. Okay, so you can appreciate or warmly approve of a person or a quality. Okay, so a synonym for admire, so a synonym is the word that's similar to it, would be love. Okay, you can love something, appreciate, or warmly approve of a person or a quality. So let's go see if that makes sense in that sentence. Hello, there we are. Okay, he held his aunt high and admired it. So it's like holding up something you love and saying, oh, I admire this, meaning you love it. Okay, so that's that word, admire. And I think I have one more word to go over with you on the next page, which is the last page you're going to read. Oh no, it looks like his aunt broke. Uh-oh. We'll definitely have to, I'm sorry to read that. So it says, oh no, it's ruined. What do you think, based off of the illustration? I know this is a bolded word, so we can go look in the glossary, but based, to make sure we're right, but based off of the illustration next to it, and with reading it within the sentence, oh no, it's ruined. What do you think, what prediction can you make of what the word ruin means? My prediction is that ruin means it's messed up or broken, right? It's, oh no, it's messed up, or oh no, it's broken. So let's go see if we're close to that meaning. Oh my goodness, keep doing that. Okay, right here. So here we have ruined. This part of speech is an adjective, okay? An adjective describes a noun, so it describes a person, place, or thing, okay? So in this case, we're describing the ant. Okay, well, what about the ant? Well, the ant is destroyed or damaged beyond repair. So we were right. It does mean broken or damaged, right? So let's go back. Let's see if it makes sense. Oh no, it's damaged. Again, does that make sense? Yes, it does. Okay, what we're going to do today is I'm just going to have you read pages 3 through 6, and I really want you to be able to retell what you have read. Okay, what I mean about retell is being able to say this, and this happened. Okay, so like if I ask, oh, what did you do last night? Oh, I brushed my teeth, I washed my face, I read a story, and then I went to bed. So again, I'm able to retell in order what has happened. I'm not saying, oh, I brushed my teeth and then I went to bed. Oh, but I read a book before I went to bed. Oh, I did it. You're able to tell it in order. Okay, so that's what we're going to be focusing on this week. Retelling a character, setting, and plot, and then going over our word work. Okay, so again, you're going to be have to read pages 3 through 6. Okay, I hope you have a good Monday. Bye.